Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I will be talking about my influencer boxing pound for pound list. You know that we have the winners for the second round of the Kingpin tournament, as well as Misfit 008 just finishing. I think it's a great time to talk about it, so let's get right into it. I just want to reiterate that this is my list. Just please understand that the chances of us having the same exact list is very slim, just because, we value different things or we see different things, and that's fine. I don't intend on arguing with you or your list. I'm just sharing you my list. If you disagree or anything like that, leave it in the comment section below, your reasoning why, and leave your list below so we can talk about it. We can chop it up. We all love influencer boxing at the end of the day. That's why you're here. That's why I'm here. So, nobody has to clown nobody. We can just talk about it like grown adults. Next thing I want to talk about is, how I made my list or what the criterias were. So I ranked these people based on really only two major factors, and those are skills and abilities, aka the eye test, and their victories, but more importantly, against who. So yeah, let's go. So we'll start off at number 15, and that is JMX. He is a skilled dude. You can tell that he has the grasp for boxing, like he knows what to do. It's just the execution is not really there. And quite honestly, I was really high on him in the early days of influencer boxing. I thought he looked really good compared to everybody else in his first couple of fights. But since then, he has disappointed me against Ginty and Le'Veon Bell. But, he's still really good, so it lands him a solid spot at 15. At 14, we do have Deji. I actually really like Deji. He's one of the most skilled boxers in the scene for sure. He has great IQ and he stays composed. And defensively, I think he's top 5 defensively. He has great head movement, but his resume is just not up to par, man. He's currently sitting with 2 wins and 4 losses. Or 3 losses if you don't want to count the Mayweather loss. But the loss to Vinny Hacker was one of the most disappointing loss in the scene. And though he looked great against Fuzi and looked good against Swarms, if we're keeping it a bean, those guys weren't any good. But like I said, he is one of the most skilled, but right now he's sitting at 14 for me. At 13, I do have Jarvis, and I think this could be controversial to a lot of people. I feel like people are gonna say this is a little too low, but how disappointing was his last performance, man. Going into that fight, I actually had Jarvis winning just because I thought he looked like a proper boxer against Floyd and Zanetti, and that him training over there with the money team, he'd improve much more, but he didn't. And I thought him and his coaches would draw up a better game plan against Gibb, but he looked like your typical one-dimensional come-forward fighter. He needs to work on his gas tank and needs to keep his emotions intact, but his win against Zanetti was great, and that's why he's at 13. At 12, I do have Adam Saleh. I feel like most people forget that this guy even exists, but he is one of the best in the scene. He is one of the most skilled, and in fact, at the inception of influencer boxing, I actually thought he was the most skilled, and I thought he would go far, but, obviously that didn't happen. In terms of resume, I think he actually beat a pro boxer. I'm not too sure about that, so don't quote me on that, but he did have a draw with Waleed, and he did have a draw against Landon McBroom. And I believe there are rumors that McBroom was like 20 pounds heavier than him, and if you didn't know, that is fucking major. 20 pounds is no joke. But in his last fight, he beat Evil Hero, because Hero broke his hand or arm or something. But we all knew that Adam would have dogged him anyways. So yeah, don't sleep on Adam. I think he gave anyone's in his weight class problems. 11, I have Le'Veon Bell. This guy's a monster. This guy can crack, and he is picking up boxing very quickly. I was thoroughly impressed with his performance against JMX, and I feel like he beats everyone in his weight class. The only issue is he doesn't have anyone in his weight class. I believe JMX is the only one noteworthy, unless I'm sleeping on somebody. Yeah, that's the issue. It's just he doesn't have, good competition to show how good he really is. But from the eye test and the fact that he cleared JMX, I think 11 is a very solid place for him. He could be as high as 9 or 10. Honestly, he could crack the top 10. He's good. Before I talk about my top 10, I just want to talk about 3 people that I don't know what to do with, just because I don't know if we consider them as influencer boxers. But if we did, I think they have a real chance at cracking the top 10. And these 3 are Logan Paul, Faye Sensei, and Idris Virgo. Now, like I said, I don't know if we as a community consider these three as influencer boxers, but I thought they deserved the mention, so they are my honorable mentions. Moving on, I do have Blueface at number 10. So far his only real opponent has been Ed Matthews, and he looked great in that fight. It's just, I think he has the tendency to play with his food. I think he could have finished that fight a lot sooner than he did. Skill-wise, I think he is a little more skilled than some of the people above him in my own list. It's just his resume is very, very weak right now, but he definitely passed the eye test in my opinion. And at number 9, I do have Slim. Now, this guy's one of the most entertaining fighters out there, man. This guy's a tall, lanky guy who doesn't use his long arms as much as he should because he likes to brawl. This guy likes to bang it out, and he can take a hit. So he is very, very entertaining. I must admit, I wasn't the biggest fan of his, but I miss his presence in the Misfits card, man. This guy has beaten Temper, he's beaten Ryan Taylor, and he's beaten Zanetti. This guy needs to come back, man. At number 9, we got Slim. At number 8, I do have Salt Papi. I think he is one of the most, if not the most, naturally talented, naturally skilled boxer in the influencer boxing scene. Before he lost to Anthony Taylor, most people, including myself, saw him as a top 3 boxer in the scene, and for good reason. But he did lose, so that's why he's at number 8. The reason why I have him over Slim is because of his victory over Bruckner. I think Bruckner is better than any of Slim's opponents, and he completely demolished Bruckner. So, yeah, I think number 8 is a good spot for Salt. Number 7, I have Anthony Taylor. His last fight, he just beat the great Salt Papi. That was a major upset. Nobody saw that coming. He has beaten Ashley Raksu and Ryan Taylor as well. So his resume is pretty good. And though he does have losses, his losses only came from the elite dudes that aren't even influencer boxers, like Tommy Fury and Idris Virgo and I think Chris Avila. But other than that, this dude has been clearing the influencer scene. So I think number 7 is very fitting for Anthony Taylor. And just missing out of the top 5 spot, I have Waleed Sharks at number 6. Now, skill-wise, this guy could definitely be number 1. IQ-wise, definitely number 1 as well. He knows what he's doing. He was a former Golden Glove champion. He has an amateur background. This guy is real. It's just his resume is lacking right now, But if he gets that under his belt, he has a great argument to be number 1. But right now, number 6 for Waleed Sharks. And starting off the top 5, I have King Kenny at number 5. Yes, King Kenny, man. This guy was very, very impressive in his last performance against Winterson. He killed him. I thought Winterson would give him problems, but nope, he made quick work of him. He's very smart. He's very fundamentally sound, very good defensively. He has a great jab, good footwork. He knows how to use his reach advantage, and his reach advantage is insane. This guy has a 7-9-inch reach. He will give anyone problems, man. Anyone in the top 1, 2, and 3, he would give them problems. King Kenny at number 5. At number 4, I do have the GOAT, Dean the Great. Might be a little bit biased on that pick just because he is my favorite. I think he's great for the scene. I think we need more villains like him. And on top of that, he has the skills to pay the bills. And I think he could even be arguably at the number 1 spot just because he beat arguably the most skilled boxer in the scene, Waleed Sharks. That was a crazy comeback. And then he beat Pulley after that. And then now he just won with Waleed. So this guy has an impressive resume for sure, and he's very, very skilled. So Dean at number 4. At number 3, I do have Gib. Man, Big Gibber. This dude has been proving me wrong so many times. I've picked against him so many times. I thought Taylor Holder would kill him. I thought McBroom would beat him. I thought McBroom would win the rematch, and I thought Jarvis would win. But this guy, he is insane, man. His gas tank and his motor is next level. This guy, he's crazy. I like Gib, man. He has a deep resume too. If you really think about it, he has beaten a lot of the good guys, man. Like I said, Taylor Holder, McBroom, Jarvis, and Jay Swingler. He's good. He's very good. Gib at number 3, well deserved. At number 2, I have the real GOAT, KSI. Yes, I know he may not be the most skilled. He may look a little bit silly to you guys because of his style, but trust me when I say this guy knows boxing. He has good footwork, he's explosive, he's athletic, he has heavy hands, He has a dog in him. He has a very high motor. And this guy's will to win is just unmatched, like point blank period. On top of that, resume wise, I think the greatest victory ever in the influencer boxing scene is still the Logan Paul victory. That is incredible, man. He was a big underdog there in US soil. I mean, come on, man. That was a great victory. And he did beat a pro boxer. You know, it was an elbow that knocked him out, but prior to the elbow, he was beating on old dude, man. Let's not play around. KSI number 2, very well deserved. Stop playing. And of course, at number 1, to nobody's surprise, it's none other than Andy Warski. Enough with the bullshit. We know who number 1 is. It's Jake Paul. Now, I must admit, I'm not the biggest Jake Paul fan, but you gotta respect the guy. You know, this guy has a decent resume. You know, he beat Gib. He destroyed him. After that, he went on a streak of KOs, man. 1-punch knockouts as well. Very impressive. He has a mean right hand. He's fundamentally sound. He's smart. He just knows what to do. He has good trainers, and he picked up the game real well, real fast. He beat Anderson in convincing fashion. I mean, Jake Paul at number 1 for sure. Well deserved. So what do you guys think? Do you guys agree or disagree with my rankings? And if you disagree, tell me why. And please, if you have time, you know, drop your list down below so we can talk about it. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy the video.